Hello!
Ahoy!
Welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back. It's another movie show, another week where we have dredged the Netflix stream. We've pulled up a movie, and now we're going to go through it and find out if we've unearthed a hidden gem or something we're throwing back in there.
Absolutely, we are. And this week we have dredged up a movie from Ireland.
Yeah.
What, the Green Isle? Is that what they call it?
The Emerald Isle.
The Emerald Isle. Close enough.
The Green Isle.
The Green Island. You Are Not My Mother is the film we're doing this week, and it was released in 2021. It's pretty new.
It sounds like you're just not doing the full swear with saying the title of this movie. But it's nothing to do with that phrase.
It is a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 33 minutes, and is currently rated a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on 5.9?
It's not a bad rating.
No, it's quite a high rating for what we've done recently.
Yeah.
So let's see if we agree with it, shall we?
Sure.
This film stars a lady called Carolyn Bracken. She plays Angela, the aforementioned mother. I couldn't really find much out about her. And to be honest, I couldn't really find much out about this film. It doesn't have a lot of internet presence, this movie.
No, I also found that. I did manage to find it. It played at a couple of festivals last year, last 18 months or so. But no, it's not got much presence out there.
It really hasn't. I don't know if it was hit by the pandemic maybe and it's just been forced out onto Netflix.
Possibly.
I don't know. It isn't branded as a Netflix original, so
Nope.
they've just purchased it from somebody. Also stars a girl called Hazel Doupe, or how are you pronouncing that? D-O-U-P-E. Doupe. She plays Shah. She's actually been on this show before.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed. This is her second appearance on the show, which is very random.
Can I have a guess?
Yeah.
Was she in? Did she also play a schoolgirl?
Yes, because she's young.
Yeah, but no, specifically.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Someone, was there a school involved?
Yes.
Was she in Anna and the Apocalypse?
No.
Oh, I was almost certain I had that right.
She's Irish, remember?
So she's in one of the Irish. I didn't want to go that obvious.
She did one of the Irish films. She's in Michael Inside.
Okay.
Do you remember the girl who looked through the window and grassed him in?
Yeah.
That was her.
Okay.
Michael Inside we did. Season 2?
I believe so, yeah.
It opened a season. Maybe it was season 3.
It was 2 or 3.
Did it open season 3, maybe?
Yeah.
She's in that. And this film was written and directed by Kate Dolan.
Yeah.
Kate Dolan doesn't have many credits on her IMDb, but she works in the art department of quite a few movies.
Okay.
And she was the assistant art director on Michael Inside.
Interesting.
Yes.
This is her directorial debut.
It is indeed a debut. Yeah, so bit of a reunion of sorts for the people from Michael Inside.
Yeah.
Is it just because there's not many Irish people?
I would imagine the Irish film industry
Quite tight-knit.
Is smaller.
Yes.
Yes. That's what you're trying to say.
That's what I was trying to say. Do you have a one-word review?
Burn, baby, burn.
That is wonderful. That's one of the best one-word reviews you've ever done. Even if it was 3 words. Technically 2 words for one twice. Where's this film start, Nick?
In a street.
It does. It's dark street.
The lampposts are shining, and there is a pushchair.
Yep.
At the end of kind of like a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
I guess. And there's a baby in the pushchair. The baby is crying.
Yeah.
It's all a bit
dark
ominous.
And gloomy and ominous.
And then
there's nobody else around.
No.
It's just a baby in a pushchair in the middle of the street.
We slowly approach that pushchair. It's a good 30 seconds, minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something like that. And a figure limps over to the pushchair.
Yep.
And wheels it off.
It does. Pushes it off into a park, kind of woodland area.
Yeah.
And then
deeper into the woods.
Yeah, right into the middle of the woods. And then the first shocking thing in this movie happens. Because
there's a nest. Well, I can only describe as a nest.
Yes.
On the ground.
Or a pyre. Because this lady who has pushed this pushchair into this wooded forest area takes the baby, places the baby on the floor, and then sets the baby on fire.
Yeah. There's a brief shot of like, I kind of said a spell book.
Yeah, there's like a
There's basically a drawing of a said nest / ring / pyre.
Yeah, there's some sort of ritual going on.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah, it was a shocking opening to this movie.
And then, there's your titles. You are not my mother.
Straight into the title card. You don't expect the first 2 minutes of a movie to see a baby being set on fire.
Yeah.
Something we don't see very often.
I actually text you.
You did,
which we don't usually talk.
No, we don't.
Well, we don't talk about movies.
No, we don't talk about the movie. We occasionally have the
here.
odd text, don't we?
I just said, I don't know what the hell the rest of this movie is going to be like, but that was a really unnerving first 3 or 4 minutes.
It really was. And then we like I said, we hit the title card and we come out of the title card to a girl. She's a teenage girl, 15 maybe, 14, 15-ish.
Yeah, fine.
She wakes up. She's late for school. She panics. She gets out of bed. She goes into her granny, who she obviously lives with, to find out why her granny didn't wake her up.
I was like, I think this is the lady from the prologue.
It was indeed the lady from the prologue. So that makes you think, is this the baby from the prologue that's now okay? Maybe. We'll find out as we go through. Granny can't drive her. She's done something to her foot. She's hurt her foot. Foot hurts. She's not driving anywhere.
She's like, go ask your mama.
Go ask your mum. Go and ask your mum, and she might get out of bed.
She's a mum.
Ma'am. Go and ask your mum. She might get out of bed. That might give her a reason to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So she does. The girl is called Shah, and she does. She goes into her mum. She wakes her mum up, who's fast asleep in bed. She's like, I need to get to school. I'm late for school. Granny can't drive me to school. You need to drive me to school.
Mm-hmm.
Mum gets up, drives her to school. Her mum is distant, I would say, is the way to describe her quite early on.
Yeah.
She's very tired. She's not going into work today. She has got a job at the start of the film. But she's decided she's not going into work. So Shah says to her, when you've dropped me off, can you go shopping? Because there's literally no food in the house.
Yeah, Mum says, what do we need? Shah starts making a list. And basically says, we've got no food.
She's like, milk, bread, everything. But she's like, Mum's like, no, I can't. I need to get home. I need to go back to bed. I'm tired. I'm not going shopping.
Yeah.
And then she nearly runs over a horse.
Yes. I have this a bit like, it's just a massive Shire horse in the middle of the road.
Because Ireland.
Yes. My lovely horse.
She's... She doesn't see it. She does see it, but she doesn't react to it.
Yeah.
She just drives at this horse.
Because I was like, are we really seeing a horse? I'm already thinking.
Yeah.
Am I being shown stuff that isn't
really
real?
there?
But no, Shah sees the horse.
Grabs the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Pulls the car off the road. Doesn't hit the horse. And the car stops on the verge. And Shah gets out. She's done. She's like, I'm close enough to school now. I'll just walk the rest of the way. You go and do whatever you're doing, you weirdo.
Yeah.
At school, it turns out Shah's done quite well in an essay that she's written, and everybody in her class has not done as well as she has.
Basically, yeah.
The
teacher's like, I'm very disappointed on all of you. Shah, well done.
And it turns out that Shah's been put forward. She's gone ahead a year.
Yeah.
So you hear of kids going back a year, but you don't hear of
had one
kids
last
going
week.
forward. We did, indeed. Whereas this one's gone forward a year.
Yeah.
So she's younger than everybody else in her class. And they take advantage of that. There's a horrible girl who puts some gum on her essay.
Yeah.
Takes a gum out of her mouth and sticks it onto her essay. She's called Suzanne. She has a quite weird character change later on in the movie. She then, after all the kids have gone out of the class at the end of the lesson, she goes up to the teacher and she gives her a drawing that she's done.
Yeah, this didn't quite ring true for me.
No.
Like, having been to school.
Yeah.
And like, you have different lessons.
Yeah.
They're in this class where they've just done this essay.
Yeah.
And then she seems to be handing in her next bit of homework, which is an art thing.
Drawing of a human on
to
fire.
the same teacher.
Yeah. And it's a...
And the teacher says, where did you get the idea for this?
Yeah.
And Charles says, oh, it's a dream.
It's a dream I've had.
Yeah.
It's basically not a baby, a full-size human, but on fire. And that's where this is the point where you think, okay, she was the baby. That's what the film's telling you at this point.
How'd you spell Shah?
How do you spell it?
Yeah.
C-H-A-R?
Yeah. What's something that's like been
I
burnt,
didn't even pick up on
but
that.
not
Charred.
destroyed. Yeah.
She has got a burn on her face, which she says is a birthmark.
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up on that. That's really on the nose as well.
It's cool, isn't it? I thought it was cool.
No, I think it's shit.
Yeah, shit. I thought it was cool.
That's... Might as well just call it a flame. I hadn't picked up on that at all. It might be because I know someone called Shah, so it doesn't feel like an unusual name to me, I guess.
Look, you've got when we watch the movies we watch on this show, you got to take this.
Yeah, I guess
little.
That's
wins.
really on the nose, though. I'm not sure about that.
It can't be that on the nose. You didn't notice it.
Yeah, but that doesn't say anything. I wonder if that's intentional. Do you think that's intentional?
I presume so.
That's really annoyed me.
Fire's a theme in this movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's true. That's really annoyed me. I don't like that at all.
You don't like that you didn't notice it.
I don't like that I didn't notice it, but I also don't like it. On the way home from school, Shah's walking back, and what are you laughing at?
You're just going to be pissed off now. It's going to make me laugh.
Shah's walking back from school, and she walks past the school, like I guess playing fields or a park or something on the way home, and she can see her mum's car parked in the middle of a park. So she goes walking over to it, like, what the fuck?
There's no way this wouldn't have. I know this isn't like the biggest town in the world that this is said, but there's no way this wouldn't have a little crowd of people.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
The bloody blinkers are still on the car. Like,
It does mention later on that it's quite a rough area, and they don't get the police around very often to get involved in shit. But the car's abandoned. There's shopping in the car, so she did go shopping. But the door's open. There's nobody in the car. Her bags and everything are still in there. It's like she's vanished. So they call the police.
Yeah.
And in the next scene, the police are at the house with Shah and Shah's granny. I don't think we ever got a name for the granny character. I've just called her granny.
I just got a gran. Yeah.
And the police are basically saying, look, we'll class her as a missing person. She's not been missing for very long.
Yeah, it's not long enough.
There's not a lot we can do anyway because we've got no leads. There's no way of knowing where she's gone. And then Shah's uncle comes in.
Yeah.
Who is the brother of the mum.
Correct.
And the son of the granny.
Correct.
This is how this family is set.
That's how
families work.
Relations work.
He's really concerned.
Sure.
He's a lot more concerned. He seems more concerned than the other two. He wants to get the police to actually do some
proactive,
work. He's
isn't he?
very much more proactive. And he says to Shah, can you go and get some recent photos of your mum so we can
we'll go
wander around town, see if they've seen her. And while Shah's out of the room, you can hear him like shouting at the police lady that's there. So then they go out looking. They go out to see if they Shah and the uncle. I don't think we ever got any. Aaron. Okay, cool. They go out looking for her. They've both got a photo each, and they're going to go and they split up.
It's this point where we kind of find out that we are on the run up to Halloween.
Yes, we are. It's a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Shah tells the uncle that just before she left for school this morning, her mum had said to her that she can't do this anymore. She can't take this anymore, do this anymore. Which she did do. We saw that. That happened just after she nearly hit the horse. And the uncle, that makes the uncle a little bit more concerned as well. So they split up. They go their separate ways. And we follow Shah. And she sees some kids from school.
And
they're up to no good.
Yeah, one of my criticisms of this movie would be every time Shah goes for a walk in this movie.
Yeah.
She bumps the bullies are there.
That's because she goes the same way every time, and they're always in the same place.
Exactly where they hang out.
Yeah, so she goes that way. There must be other ways to go. It's like a back alley. I had less sympathy for her as the movie went on. I'm not going to lie. Some bullies are there. There's a couple of girls, a couple of lads. They're stealing some pallets because they're building a fire.
Yeah, because I think they say later on, Dana, we're not. Well, we're too cool to attend the village bonfire. We've got our own.
It must be
offshoot.
Must be a thing in Ireland
bonfire.
where they have bonfires and fireworks on Halloween, because that's what happens in this. So I'm assuming that's a thing.
Yeah, and there's a few mentions later on of bonfires being like a cleansing thing, and traditional at this time of year.
So. Horrible girls are always more horrible than boys in these situations, aren't they? The horrible girls make her smoke a cigarette, and they say if you don't cough, they can have. They've taken the photo of her mum.
Correct.
So they're like, if you don't cough, you can have your photo back. If you do, you can't have it.
Yeah.
And it's her first ever cigarette. She obviously coughs, and they set fire to the picture of her mum.
Yeah.
So she can't go looking for her mum anymore. Then she has there's a bit of a flashback scene. She has a flashback to her days when her mum was okay.
Happy memory.
Happier times.
Carving pumpkins.
I can't say that.
What? Pumpkins.
Carving pumpkins. I always struggle saying that sentence. That night, Shah has a dream,
Yeah.
or a bad dream, of her mother dead, tied to a bed.
Well, she's not
Or
dead.
not dead, but
She's tied. Yeah, she's her
dead.
wrists tied to the bed.
Yeah, and her face is all mangled up.
And she lifts her head and looks at Shah, and her eyes and mouth are like sewn shut.
Yeah,
But she still smiles at
and
her.
this scene really confused me because I've written here that was a silent jump scare, because when she looked
Yes,
when
it
she
was
when
true,
she
yeah.
looks up, that's a jump scare scene, but they didn't put any like ominous music or boom or anything to it, and it didn't work. It didn't make me jump,
No,
but it was supposed to. I think.
I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever seen a
I'm
silent
not
jump
sure
scare
if I
before.
agree with that, because I don't know if there is. I think it could have been edited like that if that choice was made, but I almost thought the opposite, that the choice through this is not. Although there are bits that could be a jump scare, the choice had been made not to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They've moved away
They're
from.
going for.
They don't want to do the jump scare.
No, it's the ongoing atmosphere that
absolutely.
they're relying on as the technique.
Absolutely, but that in any other film that seems a jump scare.
Yeah.
But they just didn't put the music to it, or the ominous the thing that makes you jump is the sound in a jump scare.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it, so it was like a silent jump scare, and it doesn't make you jump anymore. So I just found that really interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen it done before.
Cool.
She goes downstairs. She wakes up from a dream. She goes downstairs to get a drink, I think. The front door's open. She doesn't find that unusual. She just closes it. And then her mum is there in the kitchen. So instead of getting any perspective on that, we just cut to the next morning. Her uncle's back around the house, and he's brought a bag of food. And her mum's just home now. She's back.
Yeah.
When the uncle gets back, he's brought her food. He's been shopping, basically.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
He's brought some food, and he's been and picked up the prescription for the mother.
Yeah, so they've taken her to the doctors, and she's got a cocktail of
Loads of pills. But unfortunately,
antidepressants.
the pharmacist hasn't given him one of the pills, so he's missing one. So he sends Shah out to go and get that box.
It's at this point where I've put in my notes, I'm getting annoyed no one else in the family's talking to Shah like an adult.
Yeah. Nobody does.
Yeah. And it was kind of all right at first, but then there's clearly stuff here that she needs to know.
Yeah.
And I'm told, before we get into any twisty-turny bits, just like, look, we need you to know this to help look after your mum.
Yeah.
Or because your gran can't walk very far. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
But everyone just
Doesn't. They just
treats
don't
her
talk
like
to
a
her.
5-year-old,
Yeah.
not a.
No, I agree. I'm completely with you. Then we meet Suzanne again. Suzanne's waiting outside the pharmacy when Shah's finished. She's the bully from earlier who made her smoke the cigarette. She also put the bubble gum on her homework. And now, for some reason, for no reason whatsoever, she's nice now.
No, she does say.
she
I heard about your mum going missing.
Yeah, but she was a twat.
Yeah,
And she wouldn't. It's a very.
There's no build up.
There's
to
a
it.
very swift character change, and it really took me out of it.
Yeah, she's because she's suddenly swapped as like lead bully.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's not lead bully anymore. She's nice girl now. She's friend. At the minute, she just becomes friend out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So she walks with Shah for a little bit. She's trying to apologise. She doesn't officially apologise, but she's trying to be nicer to her. And then they walk past Suzanne's house, so she goes in. She talks to her dad, and her dad says, "Stay away from that girl. She's part of that weird family. Don't talk to that family.
Yeah,
they're weird. That family are." And then when Shah gets home, her mother seems absolutely fine. She's happy. She's cooking dinner. She's like a new lady. She even has a little dance.
It was weird. There's a weird line here though, because just as Shah comes back, Gran's going out.
Yeah,
and she's like, "I'm just going. I gotta go meet a friend about your mother."
Yeah,
that never is.
No, it's not
referenced or
no. The twist comes later on, but the gran knows what's going on already.
Yeah.
She knows what's going on. I think,
is
she just trying to get out of the house?
I think that lines up with my earlier point about no one treating Shah like an adult, because there's clearly they might not know the full what is revealed later, but clearly the elder members of the family know some stuff that would help Shah.
Yeah, 100%.
To have this knowledge.
Why is the gran going out?
It's convenient for the problem is it's convenient for the movie to keep Shah
in the
in
dark.
in the dark because
We need the twist.
she is the audience.
Yeah, 100%.
So
the granny knowing what the granny knows,
isn't it? So
the granny knowing what the granny knows, she goes out now and leaves Shah on her own with the mother.
Yeah.
It doesn't, nothing sits right with me at the minute. But yeah, the mother seems fine. She's having the dance. They have a dance together. She's cooking the dinner. She makes the dinner. She serves the dinner up for everybody. But then just as she's about to serve it up, Granny comes in and accidentally, in inverted commas, knocks it off the stove and spills it all over the floor. So luckily, Uncle Aaron turns up with a bag of chips.
But
She doesn't want to eat whatever the mother's cooking.
No. And I'd have liked this thread to be drawn on later in the movie.
Me too.
Because you just see, as Shah and her mum are having this moment, having this little dance, you see out of focus in the background, Granny just knocks the pot off the stove.
Yeah, it's like a...
And
I
he
don't
goes,
know what it
oh,
was.
no.
Yeah. Oh, I've accidentally
Clumsy
done that.
me. And
I don't know what it was. It was like bright green. It looked horrible. It's like a stew.
And, the movie is wanting you to think, well, is the gran the bad?
Yeah, that's what they want
Isn't
you to think at this point. That's what they're trying to make you think at this point. Because, especially in this scene now, because they're sitting around the table eating these chips, and the mother and the gran,
The daggers they're giving
they
each other.
never stop staring at each other.
Yeah.
The eye contact is real, and it's actually a very awkward scene. It's
Yeah. It's good. I thought it was a good scene.
It was probably one of the better scenes in the film because they're trying to have this normal dinner, but they do not take their eyes off each other the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've written here, Granny's just not buying this. Whatever this is, she knows it's not real.
Both of them, for whatever reason, or neither of them, I should say, trust each other.
Yeah.
One dot.
No.
Yeah.
And we do find out why we're coming to that. We'll get to it. The mother at this point says that she wants to take Shah away for the weekend. To like reset their relationship, get away for a bit.
Half term's coming up,
yeah,
and just the two of us.
Let's just get away for the weekend. The uncle slams that down straight away.
Yeah,
He's
no
like,
chance.
absolutely no chance. After what's been happening the last few days, there's no chance that's happening. And he then goes a step further and he takes her debit card away, so she can't buy anything, and gives it to Shah to look after.
Yeah.
Which again is never pulled on again.
Yeah.
In the film, she just has that.
Well, he says, "Oh, we need to work together right now," or something like words to that effect. But then doesn't give her any more.
Yeah, it doesn't tell her what's going on. I'm not 100% sure he knows exactly what's going on.
No, I'm not sure he does know exactly, but I wonder if this movie is kind of relying on. Does it? Because it's something that crossed my mind, at this stage of the movie and earlier in it. Is it relying on you to think, well, obviously the mother, she's got, for whatever reason, is depressed, mental health issues, and it's kind of almost using the reluctance of people to talk about it or address it, again, as a bit of a smokescreen to hide behind for what's really going on in this movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I don't know, it just didn't quite pull at that enough for me.
It doesn't quite sit right. He tells her to keep the debit card safe, and this I didn't like either. Shah wakes up in the night, and she can see her mother in the bathroom. She's got like a line of sight to the bathroom from her bedroom, and she kind of gets up to see what's going on, and then her mother does that thing that people do in horror movies, where she just puts her whole arm down her throat, and then throws up. But it's not like she's put her fingers down her throat; she's literally swallowed her whole arm. And it seems like a real horror movie trope. Just like, we need to do this.
So she puts
it doesn't have any semblance to the rest of the movie.
Well,
nothing like that happens again.
No, but there's a couple of things going on there. So my reading of it was, it's very, obviously, it's really stylized because she puts her whole hand down her throat and she puts her
tips her head
right back. So it's trying to give you these sort of otherworldly, demonic sort of imagery or whatever. But, straight away I'm thinking, well, she's trying to bring the pills back up.
Yeah.
As in
whatever
storyline.
This is the reveal that this isn't my mother.
Yeah,
this is the reveal that this is something weird. This isn't her.
From the mother's point of view, she hears someone out in the corridor.
Yeah,
follows Shah into a room, and Shah's pretending to be asleep.
Yeah.
And when she says to her, "Are you awake?" I've actually thought, well, that's quite an interesting question because we don't 100% know if this is another dream
That's also true. Yeah, I'll give you that.
So I don't know if I'm giving it a bit too much credit.
Maybe.
But because of the weirdness that they showed of putting a whole arm down her throat, I was like, oh, is this another one of Char's dreams? Or is it like a bit of a walking...
Maybe.
I don't know.
I get that. I think maybe we are giving it maybe a bit more too much credit there, because I think this was just a reveal of this isn't the mother. This is something different here.
Yeah.
And from this point on, we know that
the movie
now,
wants to confuse you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The next day, Shah heads to school, because why wouldn't you go to school after you'd seen your mum put your whole arm down your throat? And she gives in...
Because you don't want to stay at home with her,
no,
I
that's
guess.
true. She gives a permission slip in. They're going on a school trip somewhere. She needed a permission slip. She got that signed. She gives that into the teacher. The teacher asks how her mum's doing, because everybody knows now that she went missing. And she's pretty much the only one who's concerned about Shah in this whole movie.
Yeah.
And she says the door's always open if you want to come and talk to me. You can. But she doesn't go any further than that. She just makes the offer. In the next scene, we see the mum, or the mum character as it is now, crushing up all of her pills into one big...
Yeah. I'm fair to
bag
say
of
this is
pills.
where things
escalate. Yes. But that's all we see. We don't know why she's doing it or what she's doing it for. We just see her crush all the pills up into one big bag. And then Shah goes for another walk and bumps into these same kids again that she bumped into earlier. Only Suzanne's not there anymore.
Oh, you see the mother give Aaron a cuppa.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, she does give him a cup of tea. Fair enough. She bumps into them, but Suzanne's not there now. She's not with these people, these other bullies.
Yeah.
So now we need to have a new leader, which is Kelly. We meet Kelly. Kelly's a bit of a bitch. She asks Shah, "What about
what's that on your face?"
What's that on your face?
And Shah's like, "It's a birthmark."
But it's clearly not. It's a burn.
Well, Kelly says it looks like a burn.
Yeah. Kelly doesn't get many more words out of her mouth before the mother comes running up and just knocks the shit out of her.
Basically.
Literally punches her in the face, knocks her flying. She sparks Kelly out and saves her. She basically saved Shah from getting... She was about to be burned by the lighter or the fag or whatever she was going to do. So the rest of the kids run off, and basically the mum's just saved Shah from getting a beating. So they go on a bit of a walk together. They have a bit of a bonding session. And Shah says to her, "Where did you go?" And the mother says, "I can't tell you." "Well, I can't tell you yet."
Yeah.
"I will tell you, but I can't tell you yet."
My next note just says, "Oh, she's gone into the lake."
Yep, she just walks into the lake or a pond or whatever it was. She just walks in. Because she's insane, I guess. She just walks into these water. Shah goes in after her to try and say, "What the fuck are you walking into the water for?" They both end up going under the water. There's a bit of a tussle.
I took it that the mother just pulled her down.
Yes, I think she did.
Yeah.
But you don't see that. That's what she goes under and then Shah goes under and you don't know what's going on. But then they both get out. She gets out. Shah gets out. She's like, "Fucking staying in here with you." And then the mum's just standing in the lake, just looking at her. It's very strange. So they go home. They're both wet. They both walk through the streets and go back home. And when they get home, Granny's in the garden screaming and shouting for help because Uncle Aaron is lying on the floor convulsing.
He is. He's foaming at the mouth.
Foaming at the mouth. He's not in a good way.
He's taken away.
Taken away in an ambulance.
Granny goes with him.
Yeah, I think she does this time. She's definitely the favourite.
He definitely is, yeah.
100%. Again, Granny leaving Shah on her own with whatever this thing is that she knows what it is. And just as the ambulance is pulling off, the mum puts on some music on.
Put some tunes on.
Puts some tunes on and starts dancing again. She has another dance. And
this was creepy.
Yeah, it was.
This was probably the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, this is where she kind of has a bit of a mental break. She's dancing around. She's trying to get Shah to dance around with her. Yeah. Shah's not having any of it.
She wants to repeat the moment from earlier in the movie.
But she's worried about her uncle, and this is all weird. And her mum just tries to drown her in a lake.
This is not the time.
This is definitely not the time. This is bad timing. She ends up pushing Shah off into the wall.
But yeah, after sort of pounding the floor,
angry
she's
dancing
stomping
over it. She's
and
proper stomping. She's punching herself in the legs. She's punching the floor.
Screaming.
She's screaming. It's all very strange. And she's stomping onto the floor so loud, so hard, that she breaks her ankle.
Yeah.
And then just laughs about it.
Yeah.
She just looks at her ankle and laughs. And this is the point where Shah's like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm out of here." So she leaves. The mum follows her a little bit. And she goes into her room, doesn't she? Shah locks herself into her room, and she's like, "This is a bit weird." Some time must pass.
I presume it was just next morning.
Yeah, next morning, whatever. Shah ventures out of her room. She's quite timid about it. She opens the door slowly to find out what's going on. She can't find anything, so she just goes to school.
Yeah.
She goes on a field trip. She goes on to this school field trip, wherever they went. And it's basically just a bit so we can learn a bit more about Halloween in Ireland.
Yeah, Irish myths.
Yeah,
about
myths and
fairy
legends
folk and liminal spaces and
Yeah.
places where,
The world's a bit thinner than
yeah,
between the parallel universes.
and they talk about how fairy folk can pass and humans can pass through to each other's
and
worlds.
at Halloween, that's when it's at its thinnest, and
Yeah.
that's why they like fires and all this sort of stuff.
Yes, because bonfires can be protective. There's
exactly.
a lot of useful information in this
Yeah, it's very much a
educational visit.
Yes. Then she goes into a room that's showing a video about liminal spaces. So she learns a bit about that as she's watching this video. And then Kelly comes up behind her. Bitch Kelly.
Yeah.
Turns off the video in this museum, which you're not allowed to do, but okay. And she asks her, she's got black eye. So she asks her, well, no, Kelly's got black eye because her mum punched her earlier. So she asks her about, what the fuck is you letting your mum punch me in the eye for? And she says your mum should be locked up. She's a psycho.
Yeah.
She's really not a nice character.
No, but then Shah does just say to her, well, you look like shit.
Yeah.
So she's starting to fight back a little bit.
Yeah, she is. And the whole banter's going. It's not banter, it's bullying.
Yeah.
This is all going on. And Suzanne comes in and stops it. She basically gets Kelly's scared of Suzanne. Suzanne's the ringleader. She stands up for Shah a little bit and they clear off. And we're just left with Shah and Suzanne, who all of a sudden now just become best mates. It turns out the uncle has had a lithium overdose, which was one of the pills that the mum takes.
Correct.
Granny figures that out. She knows that. And then Shah and Suzanne have gone off together. They're having a smoke together now. She's teaching her how to smoke.
They're smoking. And meanwhile, Granny is sitting at Aaron's bedside in hospital.
Yeah.
Burning little twig balls.
Yeah. It's like another little ritual's going on here. Yeah, she's doing that in the hospital. Somebody tells her she's not allowed to smoke in there. She tells her to fuck off. She made me laugh. Turns out Suzanne's mum drowned when she was younger.
Yeah.
When Suzanne was younger. So they've got a bit of a bonding thing about that. Because I think Shah's dad's dead as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not on the scene if he's...
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think they mentioned that he died.
But they do bond because Suzanne says, I can't really remember my mum, but I do dream about her.
Yeah.
And obviously
They become
Shah's
best
having
friends at this point.
Weird dreams.
They're almost inseparable now.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, they've
It's
just
the only friend Shah has.
Shah has, yeah.
Maybe has had for some time.
It just came out of nowhere. And she so much so that she invites Suzanne for dinner. So instead of just going home on her own, which she doesn't really want to do, she wants to take somebody with her. I guess it's a protective thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be there on her own. So they get home, and when they're at home, Granny's there. She's come back from the hospital. She pretty much tells Suzanne to get out straight away. She's like, nah, we're not having anybody out for dinner. This is crazy.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Your mum's in a bad day. Your uncle's in hospital. I'm not cooking. So Suzanne doesn't go home. She goes to wait in the kitchen whilst Shah and Granny have a bit of a chat. And then Suzanne's sitting at the kitchen table waiting.
Yeah.
And a wet woman comes up to her.
That's a wet ghost.
A wet ghost.
Presumably her mum.
Well, yeah, I assume so.
So I'm guessing that their house is one of these thin places somehow.
Maybe.
Because...
I mean, that's what we're led to assume, but the film never tells us that.
No.
This scene really felt out of place. There's no other ghosts in this film. This is just... It's just like this ghost just turns up and tells Suzanne to leave.
Yeah.
She's all wet. She whispers in Suzanne's ear, "Get out," and then she does. Yeah. She leaves. She runs as you would. She runs a fucking mile. It just was like this is just doing stuff because it needs people in different places.
It is, but I think I gave it a bit of leeway just because I'm just. It's not the film that has the budget or the running time to explain all.
Yeah. That didn't need to happen though.
No, probably not.
That's just
probably not.
This didn't. I don't know. Didn't work for me. So Suzanne's gone. The granny finally says to Shah, "There's some things I need to talk to you about. Some things you need to be told."
Yeah, about time.
Yeah. So she tells her the story of like when you were younger, your mother tried to abandon you, but we believe that you were swapped,
Yeah, she came back without you. Went out for a walk. She came back without you.
and then when we found you, you weren't you anymore.
Yeah.
It was a changeling.
Yeah.
And this is the reveal, I guess, of what these things are and what this is, what is happening in this movie.
Yeah. Basically, you were swapped through one of these thin places, and you went to
Wherever you went.
that world, and we had something else.
Yeah. And we needed to swap you back. And the only way to swap back a changeling is to take it to a fire.
Yeah.
So this is obviously explaining what's happening at the beginning of this film. And now they're back. They've taken your mother. She's now a changeling. And we need to get her to a fire. She's been switched.
Yeah. The things that took you have come back.
Yeah.
And that's not your mother upstairs.
Yeah, that is not your mother. Shah's not buying it.
I mean, you probably wouldn't, would you?
No, it does sound very ludicrous.
Especially after some of the behaviour of your gran.
Yeah, your gran's not been... She's left you on her own with it about 4 times. She said, "Oh, look, I wanted to go and see Mum. Mum's upstairs. Mum's locked away in a room upstairs. Somehow Granny's managed to lock her upstairs." And she was like, "Let me in." She says, "I believe you. I just need to see her.
Yeah.
Let me in the room." So Granny opens the door and locks the door. And when we get in there, Shah's mum's tied to a bed.
Yeah.
Very much in like the scene that we saw earlier on when in the dream. And Granny's like, "Look, we need to bring her to a fire." And this is the point where Shah's like, "I don't believe any of this. This is all ludicrous."
Yeah. Why have you tied my mum up?
Yeah, why have you tied my mum up? She kicks Granny out of the room, locks Granny out of the room, starts to untie the mother. And
I thought this was a good shot.
yeah.
So over Shah's shoulder, unbeknownst to her, in the mirror,
Yeah.
we see that it is the image from the dream. So
Yeah.
Mum's mouth and eyes are sewn up.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And she's got a bit of a smile on her face.
Yeah.
She's kind of
Like
smiling.
my
a little
plan
bit.
is falling into place.
Then things kind of escalate slightly because it then kind of, as soon as the doors reopened, the thing's being released.
Yeah.
And it turns on Shah then. It's kind of chases her a little bit. Knocks Granny down, doesn't it? Knocks her out.
Yeah.
Shah
Locks Shah in the room.
Shah kind of runs into the room, locks herself in. And as Shah's now, she doesn't know what's going on outside. She can hear commotion outside, but she doesn't know what's going on because she's locked in her room. Granny appears to her as a ghost. I guess the ghosts are back. And she says, "Burn it." She whispers that into her ear. We cut away from that at that point then, and we meet up with Suzanne and Kelly. They're having a bit of a chat. They're just kind of...
This is where, again, convenient for the plot, Kelly says, "Oh yeah," Suzanne says, "What are we doing on Halloween?
Yes.
Are we going to the town bonfire?" And
Yeah.
Kelly says, "No, we're built our own.
Yeah.
We're having an offshoot."
Yeah. There's still an animosity between the two of them because of the thing that Suzanne did earlier on. Shah then goes out of the room. The commotion's died down, so she leaves her room. She goes downstairs. Granny's dead.
Yeah, she's dead in
She's
her chair.
dead in the chair. And then her mum's tooth falls out.
Well, the mum says, "Right, I'll call an ambulance,"
Yeah.
and then she just spews blood everywhere. She's got a tooth in
chops out.
her palm.
Yeah. And then the doorbell rings, and it's Suzanne.
Yeah.
So Shah opens the door. Suzanne looks in and straight away goes, "Fucking hell, you need to get out of here." Your mum's face is bleeding like a stuck pig, and she looks like a crazy person. And Shah goes, "Yeah, I need to get out of here. I'm coming with you." So they do. They literally run out of the house. And the mum chases it. The mum chases them. She's kind of...
Not past the front garden.
No, she doesn't leave the front garden, but she just chases them a little bit. So they go to Suzanne's house. And they start getting a few
Shah
bits
basically
together.
catches Suzanne up, I think. At this
Yeah.
point.
So Shah tells Suzanne everything that's happened. Suzanne's like, "Right, you need to just get out of it. You need to leave. You need to leave town." So she starts packing some of her clothes up for Shah to take with her.
And then Mum's in the shower. Her hair's falling out.
Yeah.
There's blood.
This is where I've started describing it as the mum monster at this
Yeah.
point. She's falling apart, basically. His teeth are falling out. Her hair's falling out. Shah's absolutely never going back home again. But Shah says to Suzanne, I need to bring it to a fire. I need to get it to a fire somehow.
Yeah.
And then it's Halloween night. We have a bit of a Halloween montage. There's people trick-or-treating. Everybody's dressed up. It's, what a Halloween montage in a film looks like.
And through the sort of quite relative to the rest of this film, busy streets.
Yes.
Barefooted limps the
mum monster.
Mum monster.
Yeah.
But
it can get away with
zombie.
It. Because it's Halloween.
Nicely shot.
Because it's Halloween. And it scares a few kids. It screams at a few kids. And it heads over to Suzanne's house. And Shah, just as it gets there, Shah calls out to it. It's like, I'm over here.
You looking for me?
Yeah, make it chase me. Make it chase her. So it does. It chases her. And Shah and Suzanne have already planned this. So they're like, we'll get it to this fire that Kelly's built.
Fire, yeah.
We'll get it there. Then we'll set her on fire. Job done. She'll come back. Everybody will be happy. When Shah eventually lures it to this fire, Suzanne isn't there.
No.
Who is there? It's Kelly and her mates.
Yeah.
All of her mates. This bit didn't sit right with me either. Suzanne is nowhere to be seen. The mum monster's fallen behind.
It's a bit extreme, isn't
it? Yeah, the mum monster's fallen behind a little bit, so Kelly obviously doesn't know what's going on. She just wants to be a bully again. She's going a bit further than being a bully this time. She traps Shah in the fire. So they've somehow built a hollow fire out of pallets that's got no middle in it. It's like a wigwam.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you just stack shit up.
It depends how much stuff you've got, I guess.
Anyway, she traps her inside the fire, and then one of the boys starts throwing fuel onto this fire.
Yep.
And one of the other girls is now freaking out a little bit. She's like, Kelly, you're not going to really do this. You're not going to really do this. And Kelly's like, fucking hell, I'm going to set this girl on fire. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, she wouldn't have.
I think she would have. I genuinely think she would have. I think she was a psycho. Then the mum monster turns up.
Sure.
Scares the living fuck out of Kelly. And they all leg it. They all run off. And then
Shah's still in the pyre. And the mum monster says, right, you're all alone. Look at you. You've got no friends. You've got no family.
Come with me.
Coming with me.
Come with me to see your mum again.
Yeah.
That's basically what she says. And they hug. They're both inside this fire at this point because it's kind of crawled under and got in there. The fire's not lit, obviously. It's just a bonfire full of pallets. So they hug. They're like, yeah, okay, I'll come with you. And Suzanne appears from the other side. She's outside the fire.
Yep.
She's got an aerosol can and a lighter.
Throws them in.
Throws them into Shah. Shah catches them. And then suddenly the monster's got all its hair and teeth back. And it's like...
Back to mum.
It's back to mum. So Shah very briefly has a flutter. But then she screams out, you are not my mother.
That's what this movie's called.
That's what this movie's called. And sprays the aerosol, sets her on fire with a big flamethrower.
Yeah.
Suzanne pulls Shah out of the middle of the fire just as it's burning. And the whole thing sets alight. The pyre, the bonfire, the mother.
Screaming mum monster.
The mum monster. Everything's on fire. Cuts back to the house. Police are talking to Uncle Aaron. They found no bodies in the fire, is what they tell him. Because obviously Shah's reported what's happened.
Yeah.
The police have found nobody in the fire, but they also can't locate the mother. They have no idea where she is. She wasn't anywhere to be seen. And also they're going to call social services because why they didn't do this fucking 4 hours ago, I don't know. They feel like Shah's endangering this household because so far as the police know, the mother's gone missing, the granny's dead, and the uncle's took an overdose.
Yeah.
But now they're going to call the social services. And then the doorbell rings. And guess who it is? It's Mum. She's back.
Yeah.
Because she's been changed back by the changelings,
Presumably.
I guess. Because she went in the fire. And then we cut forward a little bit of time. And it appears like they're moving house.
Yeah. Whether they're all going or Shah is going off into care, we don't know.
I got the feeling that they were all leaving the house. Yeah. And Shah has made one of these protection balls out of twigs that the granny used to have. And she gives it to her mother and she says, "This is to keep you safe."
Yeah.
And then the film ends.
And that's why I wondered if they were being separated, because she says this is for you. But
Possibly. Who knows? Who cares? Thoughts?
I think I enjoyed it. I think for a directorial debut, I thought this had a lot going for it. I think it was creepy. It was ominous. I like the atmosphere, the forebodingness that went throughout. I think the production design's really good. I don't think we really mentioned it, but like the house is awful.
Yeah.
It is 70s brown, orangey. You can sort of just see it's sticky and horrible. I thought it was a lot to like. It's a bit uneven. It's rough around the edges, but overall, I had a good time. I was invested. I'm not familiar with like Irish folklore.
No.
But clearly, that's where a lot of this. Well, it's where it's all based on, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
You've completely thrown me there. I was expecting you to go, "I fucking hated this."
No, I thought it was good. Of a horror film, this is more up my street because it isn't relying on jump scares.
Yeah.
It's just the general unease all the way throughout. I don't agree with some of the choices that, as we've covered in it, and characters lurch about a bit.
Yeah,
and I think there's too many times where there's an excuse for we're not going to give you information or we're not going to flesh out the characters because it suits the plot of the movie to keep stuff from you.
Yeah.
But that's not, I don't think you can hide behind that.
No, you can't. It's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons I really didn't like this movie. This is really thrown me because this doesn't happen with horror movies. I just didn't. I couldn't get on board with this movie. It took far too long to get going. I thought by that point I was not interested in the characters. I thought none of the characters were well written. I didn't think any of them. The Suzanne character really irritated me because you didn't need to make her that evil at the beginning if she's going to become nicer at the end.
It was too much of an about turn too quick.
It really threw me off, and I don't know. It seemed like it took ages before anything happened.
I would argue that it never got going.
No, I don't think it did.
That was by design because it's plodding, but it's supposed to be plodding. If that's
it's definitely a director's choice to do this. I don't know what it is about Ireland where everybody just has to be miserable all the time. I don't know if that's how it is in Ireland, but all the Irish movies we see are so dark and gloomy and everybody's just miserable all the time.
But it's set on a really, Michael Inside, it's set on a really poor, downtrodden.
It's almost a sequel to Michael
estate,
Inside. It's like the horror movie sequel.
It could be in the same.
It literally could be in the same house. It's
town.
Yeah. Definitely town. It's just. I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me. I didn't think it was scary. I thought when the monster started losing its hair and stuff, I was like, "You're not showing me enough of it. It just looks like the mother."
I was never scared.
No,
but I just bought into the. I enjoyed it.
I'm really surprised by this. I'm genuinely. I thought you'd have hated this.
Can I tell you what I'm surprised about?
Go on.
And this is going to feel like I'm coming for you here.
Okay, come for me.
I think I'm surprised that. I was surprised how picky you were with some of this stuff, given how much you let go in some horror movies.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think that I do that
because usually I'm the picky one.
Yes, and I know that I do that, and I do that if I like a movie, I will forgive it a lot.
Yeah.
If I'm just genuinely there's something about a movie I like, I'll just forgive it everything else. But if I don't like a movie, I'll just pick on everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't like this movie, and I will just pick on all. And I think
I flipped it this week.
Yeah, you have.
Because I was quite enjoying it, I didn't really let those things affect me.
Yeah.
Which I know is
we're changelings. We've changed into each other. That's what's happened here.
Which because I know I've sat here plenty of times and gone, oh, that really annoyed me.
I thought Shah didn't ask enough questions. the granny didn't, because she wasn't a young kid. She should have been asking at least what's wrong with my mother, because we never find out why she's depressed and miserable in the first place.
Why does no one say? I don't, like I said earlier, I don't think it's good enough to hide behind, oh, no one talks about depression and mental health.
No.
Fine. But the fact that no one at all in this movie, be it teacher, friends, schoolmates, within the little family unit themselves, no one says, is mum depressed?
Yes. Nobody asks that question. No, we never know why she's depressed.
Yeah.
Or what's happened to her, because...
Well, how long has it been since your father died or left?
Yes,
or
exactly. Or you can say it's because she had a traumatic experience as a kid, as a young mother. But she was like 15. This is 15 years ago. She's not been depressed that whole time. But she had a job at the beginning of the movie, it mentioned.
Yeah, that's true.
That never gets brought up again.
But, yeah.
So Shah doesn't ask enough questions. Nobody gives her enough answers to the questions she doesn't ask. Suzanne's character changes so rapidly that it completely took me out of the moment. To the point where they made another character. It's like they changed their mind halfway through making the film. It's like, we've got a bully. Oh, but we need a friend. So we'll just... That needed a rewrite. It needed a rewrite.
That's really clunky writing.
Really clunky, because Kelly just comes out of nowhere when you just... Why not just have Kelly become the friend and keep Suzanne as the bad guy?
Yeah, there's no reason why she couldn't have been a friend.
Exactly.
Or have a friend right from the
start.
Yeah.
That's a really clunky moment. And those sort of things were like, I can't get on board with this. And then it took so long before anything even happened that I was out of it by that point where... I admit the ending's quite good, where the bit in the whole chasing through the town to get to the fire and the burning of the... and the needing to burn and the actual getting there to be burned. I liked that bit. But by that point, I was done.
How did you watch this? Because I watched it pretty much in the dark.
Yeah.
With my headphones on. On quite a small screen. And I was like, I wonder if I just got into it. And I think what I did like about it is that the atmosphere, the foreboding in the atmosphere is there from the start. It's there all the way through.
Yeah.
And that isn't clunky. That is a deliberate building of that. But
it doesn't get anywhere.
No, maybe it doesn't. But I think that was enough to get me through this 90 minutes and go, yeah, I was pretty satisfied with that.
That's really interesting.
And overlook some of those issues.
I just don't enjoy that style of horror movie, I guess. These slow burning horror movies that are appearing now. It's not really for me. It's the same reason I didn't like Hereditary. It's a completely different movie, but I didn't like Hereditary or Midsommar or anything because they're really slow burning and boring.
Yeah. And
I'd put this in the same bracket.
It's like a bit... I'm blanking on the name of the movie. The Apostle.
Yeah.
Like the first hour and 20 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Before it goes, blah.
Yeah, because Apostle...
Absolutely crazy, amazing.
Apostle builds and builds and builds and then goes mental, whereas this doesn't.
That's what this movie is.
Yeah.
Like, without anyone...
Without the ending.
Yeah. And look, that's fine. I think... I think for a debut movie, there's a lot in here that makes me go, I'll keep an eye on your stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'm not saying...
It is wonky.
Wonky's a good one-word review. It is wonky. It's clunky. It's definitely clunky. Stream table?
Sure.
No, I've not asked you the other questions yet.
Okay.
What's the best thing about it?
It's the stuff that's not the acting or the...
It's just the forebodingness of it.
I think it's the look.
Setting.
It's all that. It's the production design. It's the...
I guess the director's an art director by trade, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it is. It's the atmosphere. It's that is creative.
I think it just needed maybe one or two more rewrites. Just tighten it up a little bit. What would you change about it?
It needs clarity, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
If we're talking realistic changes.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I'd like Shah to ask a few more questions.
100%. Or at least somebody try and help her. Stream table.
Okay.
Do you want me to read up all the way?
Yeah.
12 is currently Smart Christmas bottom of the stream. 11 is Needle in a Time Stack. 10 is Another Round. 9 is The Mansion. 8 is The Ledge. 7 is Take the 10. 6 is The Cleanse. 5 is The Giver. 4 is Double World. 3 is The Legacy of a White-Tailed Deer Hunter, last week's movie. 2 is Nature Reborn. And number 1, currently top of the stream, is Old People. Where's this one going?
For me, I think it's one of the more enjoyable movies this season.
Okay.
Where does that put it? That is the question.
We're going to be miles apart on this, I think. I think there's a real obvious place where this goes.
I can see a movie that I enjoyed it more than and a movie that I enjoyed it less than, and they're next to each other. Does that
Yeah, that's where it goes then, isn't it?
Logically, that's where I should put it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
I enjoyed it more than last week's movie. I'd put it maybe third place.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, I think overall.
Shit, man. My first instinct, and I have changed this, my first instinct was that it goes between Take the 10 and The Ledge.
Okay.
I then thought, no, this is slightly better than Take the 10.
Okay.
I don't think it's better than The Cleanse.
Do you not?
No.
Yeah,
I
do you know, I really enjoyed The Cleanse.
I know you did.
But it's your fault. You put it there. You put it that low.
I genuinely think it's better than Double World and The Legacy of a White-Tailed Deer Hunter.
I say I think I enjoyed it more than last week's movie as a whole.
Okay. This leaves us in a quandary.
Well, we're both gonna have to give give a bit up, aren't we? Let's be honest. Where did you put it? 8th.
I would put it
7th.
Above Take the 10, so 7th. Yeah.
7th versus 3rd.
Yeah.
What's the middle of that? 5.
Just above The Giver. I really struggle to put this above The Giver. I'm sorry. I just would.
I've given you The Giver before. I don't know. I mean, I'll definitely have it above The Giver. So there's your problem.
Like you said a couple of weeks ago, this isn't your stream table or my stream table. This is our stream table.
Exactly.
I've never really thought about it like that before.
We have 2 at 5.
Joint 5th. I can't. It's really paining me to go to 5th. It really is.
How many? So this is the 13th. So
yeah.
Well, if you're telling me we're arguing if it goes 5th or 6th, it's more than halfway up.
We put it between The Giver and The Cleanse as my.
Well, see, the reason I'm considering that is I think, for me personally, I actually think The Cleanse in this movie, I think I enjoyed them about the same.
The Cleanse and The Giver the wrong way around, though, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So let's break them up. Let's put it between them.
So you get what you want. I mean, yeah, I'll look, I really enjoyed it. I'm thinking I'm going tactic. I'll take it, and you can owe me one. I'll take it.
I don't know how I ended up owing you one there, but okay.
Because I've come down more places than you've come up.
I don't know. I would have been. I came up before I even started.
That's not my problem. You could have started lower.
I should have started lower. Okay, so it goes in at 6th. That seems high.
Yeah, I think I've done you a big favour there because this is top 5 of movies we've watched this season. So
okay,
for me, let us know if you watched this
absolutely.
movie. Because
there are people out there who make their own stream tables. So it'd be interesting to see where it goes.
It's definitely got issues, but
has this ever happened where you're arguing a horror movie more than I am? I don't remember this happening before.
Possibly not.
It's unusual.
Possibly
it's
not.
very unusual. 6th, You Are Not My Mother, out of 13. So roughly mid-table. Do you want to do next week's film?
Sure, let's do it. Yeah.
We don't need to. Robin's got the week off.
Oh,
I personally, myself,
yeah,
I'm going to play my wild card.
Oh, love it.
I think I'm doing my wild card this season differently.
Okay.
But also I'm not intending to win anything because this is a film that I wanted to watch a while back. It isn't on the long list. And it's also a tribute because we mentioned on the wave that your face has gone. Your face just dropped.
Yeah.
We mentioned on the wave that movie English movie director Andrew Jones passed away in January. We've just recently completed all 5 Robert movies in our watch along.
Yeah.
They were the franchise that he's famous for. And we have done one of his films previously on the show in Werewolves of the Third Reich,
Yep.
which is, I think it finished very near, or if not bottom, of one of the stream tables.
Yeah. Season before last, I think.
Yeah. As a tribute to Andrew Jones, I'm going to play my wildcard on another one of his movies.
Brilliant.
I would like us to watch a movie called The Theatre of Fear.
Okay.
There's most of Andrew Jones's movies are on Netflix.
Yeah, they are.
Pretty much all of them are. This is a very early one of his movies. It's one of his very early ones. And it's also one of the most highly rated ones of his movies on there. Because it's rated at 3.3. Which is one of his highest ratings, believe it or not.
Nice.
I think his highest rating.
I do believe it. Yes, I will believe it.
I believe Netflix, though, has it as a different name. So I just want to double check that before I say anything. Yeah, it is on Netflix. It is called The Theatre of Fear, aka Midnight Horror Show.
Okay.
So that's how they have it as for two titles on one. Yeah, it was. He made it in 2014.
Nice.
So it is one of his very earlier movies. It's a horror movie again. Unfortunately, I apologise.
I like horror movies.
You do, obviously. The wildcard needed playing. Do you want to know the synopsis?
Yeah, I really do.
It says, prepare for a unique concoction of murder and mayhem as we take to the stage with the Moreau family, a band of twisted misfits who travel around the UK performing a sinister variety act for unsuspecting audiences. Leave your inhibitions at the door and open your mind to an experience unlike any other as you witness one of the most bizarre crime sprees in the annals of British history. As the twisted family unleash their surreal band of carnage, vengeful hitman Duke Enright is hot on their trail, determined to bring their show to a close.
Okay, I can't wait. I actually can't wait.
It's a family of carnival performers who are going around the UK murdering people. This is the poster.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I've seen that poster before.
We've been through Andrew Jones's films on IMDb a long time. Lee Bain is in it.
Of course
Lee Bain is in all of Andrew Jones's movies. He's in Werewolves of the Third Reich and all of the Robert movies, I think, in fact. He plays the Janus Moreau, the main head of the family, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to watch that as a tribute to Andrew Jones, who unfortunately passed away in January of this year, the director.
Can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to talk about it.
If nothing more, we'll have a fun time talking about it.
Sure.
So yeah, that's my wildcard pick for season 8. I don't expect to become top of the stream, but you never know.
No.
You never know with these movies on this show. Anything could happen.
It could.
Indeed. So yeah, go out and watch The Theatre of Fear, aka the Midnight Carnival, whatever it was called. Can't remember. It is on Netflix. You will find it if you search for Theatre of Fear. In the meantime, after you've done that, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at BOTS_podcast. Or if you want to drop us an email, our email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com, and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On the website, you will find every episode we've ever recorded, all the stream tables, loads of other cool stuff, and you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Potato peeler.
Potato peeler. Do you need a new potato peeler?
I do.
Yeah, you never know. After you've done that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottomofthestream. On there for a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to episodes. You will get bonus episodes. You will get a newsletter that Nick writes every month. And if you come in at the top level, you will get a wild card. So you can do what I've just done and play your wild card, try and become top of the stream, and you might win a prize if you do. After you've done all of that, head over to Discord. In the Discord, we have a group of really fun, movie-loving people who will talk to you about anything. We'll get involved in the real talks. We do movie watch-alongs in there. We did, like I mentioned, we did a couple on Sunday night. We play games. We do all sorts of cool stuff. The Discord link will be in the bottom of the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a review or a rating anywhere you can review or rate podcasts. It really helps us. It helps build our algorithm. It helps put our little show in front of more people's eyes, and that means they're more likely to put us in their ears. You can do that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, Podbean, Pandora, iHeartRadio, anywhere else that you find podcasts.
You can indeed do all of that. Tell everybody you know to listen to Bottom of the Stream because we have a lot of fun disagreeing on movies.
Tell people who are not your mother.
Or your nan. Tell them all and then go out and watch The Theatre of Fear. And we'll come back on Monday for The Wave and next Thursday to talk to you about that movie.
Cheers.
Bye.